A pricing analyst plays a crucial role in helping organizations determine the best pricing strategies for their products and services. These professionals combine data analysis, market research, and financial modeling to ensure that pricing decisions align with company goals while remaining competitive in the market. To excel in this position, you must have strong analytical abilities, attention to detail, and a solid understanding of business economics and consumer behavior. In this guide, we'll explore common pricing analyst interview questions along with sample answers and expert tips. By studying these examples, candidates can prepare responses that demonstrate analytical thinking, problem-solving skills, and commercial awareness, qualities essential for success in this analytical yet strategic role. Understanding the role of a pricing analyst. A pricing analyst is responsible for researching market trends, analyzing competitors' pricing structures, and evaluating sales performance to recommend optimal price points. The goal is to balance profitability with customer value and demand elasticity. Employers look for professionals who can interpret data, understand market dynamics, and communicate insights effectively to management teams. Pricing analysts often collaborate with sales, finance, marketing, and product development departments, making cross-functional communication a key part of the job. Preparing for this interview involves showcasing both your technical skills, like Excel, SQL, or data visualization, and your strategic mindset. Question 1. Can you describe your experience as a pricing analyst or in a similar analytical role? Here's how you can answer. I have worked for X years in data-driven roles where I analyzed market trends, prepared pricing reports, and optimized pricing strategies. In my last position, I supported the launch of a new product line by creating competitive pricing models that increased market share by 10% within 6 months. My experience has taught me to balance data accuracy with strategic decision-making. Tip: share specific achievements and metrics that highlight your analytical and strategic contributions. Question 2. How do you determine the right price for a product or service? Here's how you can answer. I start by gathering data on production costs, competitor pricing, market demand, and customer willingness to pay. I then analyze this information using pricing models like cost-plus, value-based, or dynamic pricing depending on the context. After evaluating profitability scenarios, I present recommendations supported by data and align them with company objectives. Tip: demonstrate your structured approach and familiarity with multiple pricing methodologies. Question 3. What tools or software do you use for pricing analysis? Here's how you can answer. I regularly use Excel for financial modeling and data analysis, SQL for extracting data, and Power BI or Tableau for data visualization. I've also worked with pricing optimization tools like Pros and Vendevo to simulate different pricing strategies and their potential impact on revenue. Tip: mention both general and specialized tools to show your technical proficiency. Question 4. How do you analyze competitors' pricing strategies? Here's how you can answer. I analyze competitors' pricing by tracking their published rates, promotions, and product positioning. I use web scraping tools or market intelligence reports to gather data, then compare it against our pricing and market trends. Understanding competitors' pricing helps identify gaps and opportunities for differentiation. Tip: highlight your research abilities and your analytical interpretation of competitor data. Question 5. How do you handle price sensitivity and elasticity in your analysis? Here's how you can answer. I study price elasticity by analyzing how changes in price impact sales volume and revenue. Using historical sales data and regression analysis, I determine whether a product is elastic or inelastic. This insight helps me recommend price changes that maximize profits without significantly reducing demand. Tip: emphasize your comfort with statistical concepts and your ability to translate data into actionable pricing strategies. Question 6. Describe a time when your pricing recommendation led to measurable results. Here's how you can answer. In my previous role, I noticed that one product category had declining sales despite a competitive market position. After analyzing sales trends and price sensitivity, I recommended a 5% price reduction, coupled with targeted promotions. Within 2 months, sales volume increased by 20%, improving overall profitability. Tip: use quantifiable results to demonstrate the real-world impact of your pricing decisions. Question 7. How do you communicate complex pricing data to non-technical stakeholders? Here's how you can answer. I simplify data using clear visuals such as charts, dashboards, and summary tables. I focus on what the data means rather than overwhelming stakeholders with technical details. I always connect insights to business goals, like revenue growth, market share, or customer retention, so decision makers can act on them confidently. Tip: show your ability to make data accessible and actionable for executives and cross-functional teams. Question 8. How do you handle disagreements about your pricing recommendations? Here's how you can answer. I handle disagreements by presenting data transparently and explaining the rationale behind my recommendations. I also listen to feedback from sales and marketing teams, as their insights about customer behavior are valuable. My goal is to reach a data-informed consensus that aligns with both short-term goals and long-term strategy. Tip: highlight collaboration, diplomacy, and confidence in your data-driven reasoning. Question 9. How do you evaluate the success of a new pricing strategy? Here's how you can answer. I track key performance indicators such as revenue growth, profit margin, customer acquisition rate, and competitive positioning. I also monitor post-implementation data to ensure that pricing adjustments are producing the desired outcomes. If necessary, I refine the strategy to align with evolving market conditions. Tip: stress your commitment to continuous evaluation and adaptability. Question 10. How do you approach dynamic or seasonal pricing? Here's how you can answer. For dynamic or seasonal pricing, I use historical sales data and predictive analytics to forecast demand. For example, during high demand periods, I may suggest incremental price increases to maximize profit, while in low seasons, discounts or bundling strategies can drive volume. Data-driven flexibility is key to optimizing performance year-round. Tip: show that you understand both data analytics and market timing in pricing decisions. Question 11. How do you ensure pricing compliance and consistency across regions or products? Here's how you can answer. I maintain a centralized pricing database and clear documentation of approved price structures. Regular audits help identify inconsistencies or unauthorized discounts. I also collaborate with regional teams to ensure local adjustments comply with company guidelines while respecting market dynamics. Tip: demonstrate your commitment to structure, accuracy, and governance in pricing management. Question 12. Why do you want to work as a pricing analyst in our company? Here's how you can answer. I'm drawn to your company because of its innovative approach to market strategy and data-driven decision-making. As a pricing analyst, I see an opportunity to contribute by combining my analytical skills and market insight to enhance profitability and customer value. Your focus on continuous improvement aligns perfectly with my professional goals. Tip: personalize your answer by referencing the company's values, products, or market presence. Preparing for the pricing analyst interview. Before attending your interview, review the company's pricing strategies, product range, and market positioning. Study the job description to identify specific responsibilities such as forecasting, data modeling, or margin analysis. Brush up on pricing models, financial ratios, and statistical analysis concepts. Be prepared to discuss case studies or scenarios involving price adjustments or profitability analysis. Recruiters may also test your Excel or analytical abilities through practical assessments. Present yourself as detail-oriented, business-savvy, and capable of transforming data into actionable pricing insights. Final thoughts. A pricing analyst interview evaluates not only your analytical and quantitative skills but also your ability to apply business logic and creativity to pricing challenges. Employers look for candidates who understand the balance between profitability, competitiveness, and customer value. By preparing structured answers, highlighting examples of successful pricing decisions, and demonstrating your communication skills, you can position yourself as a well-rounded professional. Confidence, clarity, and commercial awareness are your key strengths during the interview. Ultimately, a successful pricing analyst is not just good with numbers, they are strategic thinkers who help shape the company's market position and financial success. Approach your interview with preparation, curiosity, and the mindset of a data-driven problem solver ready to make an impact.